Nakikita ko dito, pre. Hindi na natin magagawa TikTok, pre. Read the moves, pre. Read the moves, pre. Yan na.
Gago ka ba?
So yun guys, welcome back sa ating panibagong video. As of ito guys ay nanood na naman tayo ng mga TikTok sa TikTok. Yan guys, nanood tayo ng mga trash talkan, mga new updates sa Mobile Legends. At guys, bago tayo magsimula sa ating panonood sa TikTok guys, ay huwag nyo po sa nakalimutan i-click ang like button guys. Mag-like cute. Huwag na natin ito patagalin guys. Sainty TikTok reaction, simulan na natin tong video. Sige, simulan natin kay Jared Nakara. Sabi nakakamiss trash talkan ni Boss D at Sungit. Naalala ko to guys. Comment nyo guys down below kung naabutan nyo yung trash talkan nila guys. Live. Yan. So sige, tingnan natin.
Yung pa nilang alam. Yung pa nilang alam. Tapos galawang ipis pa sa pani. Nakakahiya.
Ano, sinabihan kaming galawang ipis, sabi ni Doggy sa amin. Pinagkakampi pa kami ni Zapno, ni Chakno, ni Yolo.
Ay, nasabi niya palag ba kayo nila Chakno sungod laban kila Boss Dogs, palag ba? Oo naman, palag kami dun. Hindi naman marunong mag-ML.
Oh, share Minecraft.
Palag kami dun guys, di naman marunong mag-ML si Doggy.
Para maglaban-laban. Para may katapat na sila. Grabe yun, ang sakit man din, sinabihan akong galawang ipis. Akala ko magkaibigan daw, Boss Doggy. Pero sinabihan mo akong galawang ipis. Ba't ka naman ganyan?
Alam ko guys, natuloy yung laban nila eh. Alam ko natuloy, tas pustahan, tas hindi natuloy. Hindi ko alam kung ano nangyari guys. Comment nyo down below kung ano ang nangyari. Yan, next, sabi naman ni ChristyZ26, ano to guys, papunta pa lang kayo, nakahanda na ako. Yan, follow nyo siya guys. Mukhang ano to guys, set ng mundo. Mukhang pati turtle sasama sa set. Sa sobrang galing. Ayan na. Oh, sheer. Kung yung kalaban yan guys, bawi na lang muna ako next live. Tapos nag-set pa si Iling guys. Nice G. Pag ganyan guys, ano na lang muna. Bawi na lang muna next live. Next, sabi naman ni Elgin Gaming, and follow nyo siya guys. Argus Bop, Selena Nerf. Ha? Na-nerf si Selena guys? Anong game? Panoorin natin.
So, update on Advanced Server and its patch 1.7.24. First on our list is the buff on Leslie. Her enhanced basic attack will now always deal true damage, even if it's not a critical strike. You can see the difference when the true damage crits or not. To balance this new feature, they had to remove 10% attack scaling and replaced it with a base damage of 50 points. This makes her stronger in the early game, but a bit weaker when it comes to late game.
Okay, gets.
Next is the nerf on Selena. The developers think she can harass the enemy too often with her second skill. As you all know, using her ultimate will refresh her other skills. So by adding more cooldown to her ultimate,
Naku po!
lessen the frequency of spamming her abyssal arrow. That's an additional 1 second in the early game, while it remains the same when the skill is at max level. So more waiting time before transforming back to Alpha.
Comment nyo down below guys kung Selena user kayo.
Next is the nerf on Paquito. The developers think his burst damage is too much, so they are toning it down. They nerf the damage of his enhanced second skill.
Masakit naman talaga
enhanced
Paquito
ultimate
guys.
And its normal version.
Tama lang.
That's what you get for being a top pick hero.
Yan, nagalit tuloy sa
Next
si
is the
Elgin.
buff on Luo Yi. They increase the range of her ultimate by 8 points. Her level
Diba
1
ni-nerf si
ultimate now
Luoyi?
has the same range
Diba ni-nerf
as
si Luoyi?
max level
Tapos
ultimate.
bunaf ulit.
And at level 3, you'll have this range. From the inside of your base, you can teleport instantly at the Lord area.
Uy, ang
It's
daya.
going to be more fun to use Luo Yi now with her extended range.
Let my will bend the earth.
Wala, ang daya niyan guys.
Next is the buff on Argus. He can now cast his ultimate while in the middle of a skill animation. As you can see, the wings can
Ay,
appear
buff na.
now even if the animation is not done yet.
Buff nga to, guys.
On official server, the ultimate can only take effect after the animation is finished. I think this is a big buff on Argus.
Kasi,
I
guys,
can't remember how many times
Hindi ko
he's
alam.
died because of that small delay before you can use
Hindi, minsan kasi hindi na nakaka-ulti pag nababurst. Pero dahil sa buff, pagka mamamatay, madali na
Next are the big changes
mag-ulti.
on Kaja. His enhanced basic attack will now paralyze enemies by slowing them
Ala!
down for a short time and then lowering their damage by 4% for 3 seconds. The effect can stack 6 times, which means that's a minus 24% damage.
Ay, ang OP
on
nito,
the enemy.
guys.
They removed the heal and placed it on his first skill instead. Each time an enemy hero is hit, it will heal Kaja. Multiple enemies will mean multiple
Ang
heal
OP
as
nito
well.
ni Kaja, guys.
Just like his passive, the skill can paralyze enemies. And it now gains 0.25 cooldown reduction if it hits an enemy hero. The more enemies you hit, the faster your skill 1 cooldown will be.
Where I go.
Ang daya nito,
And he
guys.
also added Paralyze on his second skill and ultimate. So this means all his skills can lower an enemy's damage as well as slow them down. This is good for Kaja because the current one is so reliant on his
Tama.
ultimate. With his new kit, he can provide support properly even if his ultimate is on cooldown. Next is the buff on Gatot Kacha. His second skill now has a
Binta pa
longer
to si
dash
Gatot, guys.
and required time to reach max charging is now
Stress na
shorter.
nga ako dyan, di yan namamatay, guys, eh.
Next is the nerf on Valentina. They shortened her dash distance. This means she can pass through
Yun
thick
lang.
walls. Well, almost all walls. You have to be very close before
Yun
you
lang,
dash to
guys.
the other
Ang
side.
ginawa kay Valentina.
Is it finally enough to remove her from the ban section?
Ano ba yun?
Next is the adjustment on Florine. Her flower folk item now gives 5%
Ayun na.
adaptive attack.
5%.
And when it's upgraded, it will give extra 10%
10%.
physical
Hindi ko
and
maintindihan
magic
yung percent,
XP.
guys.
New effect is also
Binabasa ko
added
lang.
where the teammate with the flower of hope gains shield when they are healed by Florine skills. And when it's upgraded, the teammate gains extra movement speed.
Ah, okay.
Next is the buff on Khalid.
Ay, oo
His
nga pala, may
enhanced
Khalid
basic
nga
attack
pala,
now
no?
has a longer range, and he lands much closer to his target. They also added 40% slow effect for 1.5 seconds, and its attack scaling is adjusted to make it stronger in the early game.
Huli kong ata laro
His
or
first
nakalaro
skill
sa
now has
Khalid
a full
last
effect like this.
last year pa ata.
Cannot interrupt channel
Pero babalik sa
skills
meta
like
to
Odette's
siguro,
ultimate.
guys.
Its animation is now a bit faster, but they
Nice.
lowered its base damage by a few points. Is this enough to make Khalid popular again? Next is the nerf on Esmeralda.
Yan.
Her first hit shield is now lower by 100 points, and they also reduce the speed when she absorbs the enemy's shield.
Daming bago,
Next
guys.
is the buff on Baksha. His second skill now has a shorter cooldown in the late game. This gives Baksha users a shorter waiting time in case they miss their target. Next is the buff on Frederick. His combo points and crystal energy will now take 5 seconds before it disappears. And the next combo points will disappear faster after the initial 5 seconds is done. This
Di
is
ko
a
gets.
buff because it gives more control over his
Yan,
skills.
comment nyo down
His
below kung gets
ultimate
nyo.
now
Di
has
ko
a
gets.
higher base damage,
Hindi
but
kasi
his
ako
crystal
nagpe-Frederick,
energy
guys.
bonus is lowered by 5%. This means his ultimate will still hurt, even if he doesn't have enough crystal energy stored. Next is the buff on Edit. Her passive damage to minions.
Naku po, ang sakit na kaya niya sa
by 30%.
minions.
The developer said they wanted to improve her lane clearing ability. Next is the buff on Carmilla. Her stolen defense is adjusted to give better stats in the early game. And her ultimate now has a stronger slow effect, while its length ratio is adjusted. Damage transferred will only be 50%, but crowd control will now take full effect on all targets. This means all link targets will get the full CC duration.
Oy!
And her special skill with Sicilian now gives more shield, but its cooldown is now longer. Next are the items Cursed Helmet and
Uy, ito
Molten
item,
Essence. The developers want tank experienced laners to clear lanes faster in the late game, so they're adjusting its damage to minions and creeps. It now starts at 210 and increases up to 350 when the hero is level 15.
Mas masakit
Based on
siya, guys,
its scaling,
late
It
game.
will be more effective in the late game.
Yan.
It became weaker in the early levels, which means jungling will not be as fast as before. But come late game, you can clear minions much faster. Last one is the return of the Reforge Your Legend event. I'm not sure if it's a full revamp just like Hanabi, because the title says M4 Skin Paul. One of these heroes will probably get a new skin. So what can you say about the update?
Guys, comment nyo down below anong gusto nyong bagong skin na lalabas. Or ano ba to? Revamp ba to? Legend skin ba to? Yan, shoutout kay Elgin yan. Follow nyo siya, guys. Ang daming bago. Putik. Next, sabi ni F Gaming, may matindi pa sa salisigang. Sino to? Si Pri. Follow nyo siya gaming, guys.
Tatambay tayo dito. Tatambay tayo dito. Titiktokan ko to, pre. With feelings, pre. Kaya lang, dadaan. Pag nakita ako dito, pre, hindi na natin magagawang TikTok, kundi.
Patay!
Okay, dumaan lang siya. Hindi nila tayo nakita, pre. Sigurado panalo na to, pre.
Paano mo naman na-check?
Nararamdaman ko ang sure win dito, birada, pre. Tingnan nyo mabuti kung paano ang TikTok mangyayari ngayong araw.
A few moments later.
Akin yun. Yan ba, putang. Read the moves, pre. Read the moves, pre. Yan ang nakapag-load kayo?
Gago ka ba? Ina mo!
Nakapag-load kayo? Load kayo, load kayo, load kayo, load kayo, load kayo, load kayo, load kayo. Okay, okay.
Anong kanta yun, guys? Comment nyo down below anong kanta yun. Putik yun. Rough trip talaga kayo, pre. Actually, siya ata may kasalanan, guys. Ba't ni-nerf si Nathan, no? Feel ko siya may kasalanan ng lahat ng pag-nerf. So, sobrang galing. And I think, guys, for this video, maraming salamat sa panonood. At kung nagustuhan itong video na, guys, huwag nyo po kalimutan i-click ang subscribe button sa baba. Maraming salamat sa mga mag-subscribe. Yan, maraming salamat Sainty fam sa inyong panonood. Kita sa next video. Love you all, guys. Bye!